All right, welcome back to the 2023 PDGA Master World Championships. We are out west in Flagstaff, Arizona. We are halfway through. Players are looking to cash or get inside that line. If they're not, they only got 2 rounds left. We've seen both courses twice. My name is Stephen Waits, and I'm joined by PDGA event support staffer Steve Boyle. And Steve?
Hey, happy to be here, and we're here for round 3 coverage of the MP50 division. We
got Chris Smith leading. He has been leading for both rounds now. So far, the only one at the top of the leaderboard, with Brian and Ron and Mike on his tail. They were with us for round 2. Heading into hole one here. Second time through Thorpe Park. The 600-foot par 4 is a heck of a starting hole for these players, especially on the hot days that they were facing today.
This hole can really set the tone. It's a par 4. It's got heavily wooded. You see the guys all getting ready here. Chris is getting ready to throw his first throw of the 3rd round. So take a look and see what he does. A little bit errant, does get a kick to the right. That could be some trouble. We'll see how that ends up here in a little bit. Schweberger's up next. He's no stranger to being in this situation, being in lead cards. Been there a long time, has boatload of wins. He laces it down the middle. What a beautiful shot. Gets that pesky little sign there in the middle, but he should have a nice approach to that green. We'll have a couple different lines at it from there, and eager to see what he's going to do.
Multiple MP50 champion here, Ron Convers.
Ron throws a little Hyzer flex and gets through a lot of trees that you wouldn't think would normally happen, but that ended up being a fairly decent position. So he may have that building he has to deal with. So we'll see how he navigates that. And now Moser is up this row.
Mike probably coming from the furthest away on this card, all the way from Delaware.
Yeah, but he's no stranger to being out and being in part of these bigger events. Last year he did fairly well at Masters Worlds. There's a rare hit for second throw error for Chris. He's been pretty solid off the tee the whole weekend so far, and that tree hit may cost him maybe a throw or 2 here. We'll see how it ends up.
Great throw by Mike, getting over the building where he wanted to be. It's a tough approach. If you're not further down the fairway, you get too far back. There's still a lot to deal with.
This hole can really set the tone, and looks like Chris is starting off a little struggle. He's got these guys chasing him down, trying to chase him down a little bit, and now he laces that signature forehand he's got up there. So he's got a putt now for bogey, and we'll see if he can that. Schweberger with his thumber.
Finally making it to Brian's drive.
And didn't waste any time pulling that out. And he skips right beyond that hole there. So he looks like he might be circle's edge or just inside circle. So we'll see how he works that putt. Ron with the roller. All right. Hits that first little tree. At least he gets over that building. He's got a clear line to the target. He's still out, but being that close to that building and getting over it was a key factor here.
Definitely gave him the best chance to have a look at it here.
He did make a little baby run at it. That's a smart move. Keep it close if you miss. Moser, he's pretty consistent as well. He knew he was a little bit out there. You don't want to start off with a bad number on this first hole of Thorpe, and sometimes that can really set the tone. And Chris, unfortunately, still has a little bit of work yet to do to get that double bogey. Schweberger here for birdie. He can really make up some ground on Chris if he can get this. We'll see. Just a tad bit low and a little bit left. He's a little disappointed. He's got that tap in, so he'll be able to get his par and still get a couple of throws on Mr. Smith here.
Still making up strokes for sure.
Yeah. You know, Chris has got to be a little bit disappointed in that. You know, that's not the way you want to set this tone coming into this third round. But knowing Chris, he's got some tricks up his sleeves. He'll be fine. I anticipate that he's played really well so far, and he's got a nice solid lead coming into this round. So everybody else looks like they're parring. So Chris comes in with the double bogey, and we'll get par fours for Ron, Mike, and Schwebby.
Imagine your favorite disc is unreachable. How will you recover? Have no fear. Introducing the ARM Augmented Reaching Mechanism. Providing players with over 21 feet of reach, users will face no challenge retrieving trapped discs in nearly any scenario. For further flexibility, the ARM comes with 2 grabbing devices, the pivotable rectangle and the double claw. Go to your local retailer and ask for the ARM today.
All right, well, now we're off. Hole 2 here at Thorpe Park, 361-foot par 3.
This hole here, you have 2 different lines. You have a little Hyzer right to left. Once you get past those that first tree there, and you can really, if you can push it through that and let it flex to the left all by itself, you have a nice little opportunity for a birdie. But it is a little bit tighter, so you have other people just going straight at it. We'll see which way he does. It's like he's going straight at it. He's going to do a flip up with the disc. It could have been like a Sidewinder or something, maybe even a Roadrunner. With the stability up here, you can use those lesser stable, more understable discs for these kind of 360-foot shots. Ron pops his up a little bit high, gets hung up, and he's dead in the middle of the fairway, so I anticipate he's not going to have too much problem getting up and down. There's the little bunny hop from Mike Moser. He went straight Hyzer. I think he thought that was going to flip up for him a little bit. He's got a little work to do, being on the left side there, have some trees to navigate, but I think we'll be just fine. Chris keeps it nice and low. If he can get a nice skip off of this, it flared on him a little bit, but he's in circle 2, so he's got an opportunity to make up a little bit of that ground that he lost on that first hole. Convers is so good at these upshots. Rarely ever misses them, so it's awful nice to see that. You got Moser making this big run. We love to see Nagano in, but at the same time, you know, be happy with that 3. Starting off this round with par is the most terrible situation.
Chris with a bid here, trying to get one. Trying to make it back after hole 1.
Yeah, you can see he's a little disappointed in that. You can't blame him for that. He had a pretty good drive. Schwebby goes for he flips off again. So it's that a little bit low, a little bit left side. So just see if he'll adjust on the next hole or 2. Looks like they all have to tap in 3s. So yeah, everybody's going to have a par on this one. So let's get to the next hole. You can see how you guys are tapping out. It doesn't get birdied. So this card specifically can get up and down. They can have an opportunity at it, but it's so far left on this hole that it's really hard to get to. You have to go right on these trees. You do have an inside route, but then you have this log you have to navigate over, and you got these guardian trees. So this guardian bush right here, bushy tree, does stop a lot of upshots. And with it being 350 feet with a right to left, it just, you have to get so far over. And you're slightly throwing uphill. That's what other people don't realize. Schwebby takes the big wide route. It's like caught a tree right by the cameraman.
The general landing area here with the way those trees stick out over the road and how much you got to get left on it.
Now that looks like a beautiful shot. It means
Just the side enough of it, yeah.
But again, it gets a reverse skip because you're going so far left, and you're going uphill. That Ron's in a great position to get that par, but it can be a hard birdie run because if you throw for the birdie, you have on the back side of this green, you have a slope going away from the basket, so you could get some rollaway.
I feel like this is a really frustrating hole for a lot of the players because it doesn't seem like it's outside of anybody's range, but it's just so hard to get within even circle 2 distance.
Yeah, this hole is just rarely ever birdied, and so this is one of those tweener holes that you just get frustrated with because you want to be able to attack it, and you just can't. Ron blowing off the forehand. He pushes a little bit long and left, but I have faith. He'll get up and down from that. Mike's checking out the options here. He's gonna go. Looks like he's going Anheuser. He doesn't take much time at all. Once he makes a decision, he just pretty much goes.
And that was a great bid, trying to get that lone birdie that this hole will see. There was only 3 birdies so far this week on this hole, and it was all 3 of them were the MP40 division, so nobody in MP50 was able to get there. Very close though, as we've seen Mike's go, and even Chris setting it up underneath there.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, because you have that sloping away, that you almost have to go for it so hard that it's just almost not worth it if you're more than 50 or 60 feet out to make a real solid run. So good putt from Ron. He did push that a little bit long and left on the approach with that forehand, but he recovered nicely.
Brian had the quick tap in, and then Ron and Mike and Chris are in, and after 3 holes, we've only seen just one color change on the scorecard, and that was Chris's double bogey. Everybody else playing par golf through the first 3 here, but this next hole is definitely one that we should see some ace runs on, really.
Well, you got an inside slightly Hyzer route, and you got a more aggressive Hyzer route. A lot of times you can use something stable, push it right, and then just let the disc do the work off the ground. And yeah, that's exactly what Schweberger does. He pushes it right up there, close to it. I think he's probably just outside of circle, or just inside circle, and he'll have that putt. Ron's up next. That's a pretty line. And yes, right next to the target.
Oh, just
skipped a little bit. Those rocks. Rocks usually going to keep you pretty close. You got a lot of rocks around there. You can see that. Wow, good shot for Mike.
Thank you.
He took a wider route at that. Let the disc do the work. Chris is up next.
Needing to follow those paths there, and that is a little wide too.
Very controlled, but he's got a putt there. So
tough rock. Brian went longer than I thought here. He has some work with to come back on it, but
so he makes that adjustment that he had missed on those first 2 holes, and puts that one home very nicely. Chris comes up just a little bit short. He's starting to get a little frustrated. These are holes that he was getting early on the first round for sure, and we'll see how he reacts. Mr. Convers with
a solid birdie putt. Solid putt.
Solid. And then Mike's got this tap in. With that ace run he had going wide route, that was actually really pretty.
So everybody else will be in for their birdie here, and
Yeah.
Chris with another par.
So far, everybody on this league group has gained a 3 throws on Chris. So this is all tightened up really, really quickly. After 4 holes, you know, you have somebody within 1 stroke, somebody within 2 strokes, and now 3 strokes.
I find this to be an interesting hole. It's fairly flat, but out by the basket, there's really sloping, you know, right to left here away from the pin.
It does slope right to left, and this is an unusual route. That Hyzer route is not something you would normally consider too much, and that seems to work pretty well.
Yeah, circle 2 looked like just in those bushes has to probably straddle or reach out around something, but it's there. Ron going straight at it.
401 foot uphill, par 3. So I've seen some different routes here. It looks like Mike's lining up to do a roller. Wow. Caught a little bit of a rock, but now he's going left to right. I think
And he's going, you know.
Yeah. So he took the chance of going into the road in there, but he may have a pretty clean line at that.
Have a look at it, but it's definitely it's down there a ways. And Chris has to get right with this, or he's going to be down there too. Yeah.
I think beforehand. Yeah, they're both working at it, but they cut off some of that direct line by going that left to right route.
Ron's kick out to the right.
Yeah,
Not an issue.
He's so dependable with that upshot. It's amazing. Mike puts up there right in the middle of center, right in the middle of circle 1, and
Chris just straight at it here.
Yeah, he got that nose down on that disc a little bit. You can see there's a little bit of wind out there. Getting the nose down, that's going to make it drill down to the ground. He may have a longer putt than what he wants. And of course, Schwebby.
Brian gives it a good run.
Oh man, he put it right up next to it. So we're looking at about a 24 foot, 25 footer here for Chris.
Hope this limb
Just a little bit low. Okay, yeah, now, this is interesting now.
Yeah, he's going to be looking at his, he's going to be looking at going 3 over through 5 holes here.
Yeah.
And everybody else is sitting at 1 down.
So the entire league group has gained, 4 throws on Chris. And they were only 4 back of them to start this out, so we got some ties now.
When you first sign up for a PDGA membership, you're given a PDGA number. Your PDGA number is a stamp for when you got involved in the sport. It's a badge of pride for players and a part of your disc golf identity. Get your number today. Visit pdga.com/join.
Rolling in the hole 6 here, 600-foot par 4. Probably one of the more noteworthy holes in the front 9. People might be talking about after the round how they played it, because you have to really get something out there to give you a look at this tight green here. Once you get down here, the trees, the rocks, the slope behind the basket, it gives you a lot to think about on that approach. There is a Mando to the right. Doesn't come into play often unless you turn something over early. They had a volunteer out there, volunteer on the Mando confirming people if they made it or not. So you don't see that, and that was nice to have them out there helping with the pace of play.
Straight up, did the same. That's so bad. Good
Yeah.
And that's the trouble, trying to turn something around that corner and you get it nose up and high, and it just stalls out.
Schweberger got that a little too high. He went. There's a small tree to the left. He went over that. That is a very good play. But you have to get that disc down a little bit further than that. So Ron puts one right up down through the middle. He's going to be pretty happy with that shot. Mr. Moser,
It's got a good turn on it.
Yeah, he went pretty close to that Mando. So normally doesn't come into play, but he's over there by it. He got past it, so he's not going to be not going to be an issue for him. But it was a little closer than he wanted to. Chris with the massive forehand, he pipes it way up there. So
Definitely a random.
the best shot. So that forehand really helped him out in that situation.
You can see how close Mike came to the Mando tree there on the right. But having a look at it, get the upshot to back towards the back side of the basket.
So with this being a par 4, I mean, it's, you know, from your lie, you have to make that decision of whether or not you're going to go for it or not. Schweby with the big thumber coming up. We've seen it all weekend, and he comes up probably just a little bit short to, you know, maybe circle 2. Ron's lining up. Looks like he got an Anheuser route to it. If he can get this nose down a little bit, he's got to look at this. He's probably about just outside circle, maybe about 38 feet away.
Looked like he almost
birdie opportunity.
Looked like he almost pushed that drive as long as you had it on round 1.
Yeah, it would look really nice.
That was a good drive, yeah.
Well, right up there. That's probably so far his best hole yet. He went forehand, which it does call for that, but you have to get creative on this upshot. Mike slides a little by, but he's going to be just fine. Schweby's out here putting for the 3. Ron with a rare low shot like that, you'd expect that to be a little bit higher. He's such a good putter that every once in a while you do have these mistakes, and then of course Chris just puts it right back in. He's like, all right, I'm not giving up on this, guys. I'm here to play. So that was a nice birdie after struggling for the first 5 holes. He's working on it.
He was one of 6 birdies on hole 6 here.
Nice. Moser, yeah, that's a tricky little shot, and he gets up there and just puts it in there like it's not that big of a deal. So he slid by a little bit further than he anticipated, I'm sure. See these other guys tapping out. On to hole 7.
Coming up on hole 7, the first time that the players are really going to see a OB with that road left, long and left. Not really had to contend with any OB up till this point, and it was a factor round 1. There was we did have 1 go OB there in round 1.
Yeah, I think it was Robert came up, but he hit that nice putt. It was beautiful. Chris puts one up just past the target. Schweby throws an Anheuser. He's looking at the basket. What a great kick at the end.
Definitely was going further right than he wanted to be. That kick just brought him back inside circle.
So far, we've got 2 players, now 3 players, all within the circle. They're making this 330-foot hole. Actually, I'm sorry, it's a 270-foot hole. Play pretty easy.
That looks really well too. Just hold it a little longer for him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And look at that. You got all the players within the circle. Chris is up first. Yeah, he's struggling a little bit. He's got that putt dropping down a little on him, but he'll adjust. Schweby's right there on the line, actually. And he nails the putt. Schweby style. Mike says, no problem there. I can do that too. Park is always open to the public. You see people walking through, riding bikes, and that kind of a thing. So players do have to deal with some distractions at times.
So everybody else again, everybody but Chris getting in for their birdie. He's still 2 over further around while they are all sitting at 2 under now. Hole 8, 330 foot, similar to 5, not as long, but definitely more uphill with a bigger slope around the basket.
This one here you can attack. They have this double tee pad here, so it's kind of an unusual little run up for a lot of people. But you really can attack it. You can see that Schwebby went just inside of the tree there on the left, and then flattened something up and moved it. That was actually a really, really nice throw. Ron goes directly at that tree as well, and this time he flexes a little bit too much. He's a little bit further out than Schwebby is, but I'm sure he's going to have no problem getting up and down. Moser comes up here and he says, "I'm just going to power one up there and see what we got." So he's got about a putt, probably in circle 2. Looks like it settled down nicely in those rounds.
Chris just got to get off that tree. He does over there.
Yep.
That's going to look really good sliding up. Short of the basket, but I mean, it's going to give you a look. 330 feet, anything up past those initial trees. Unlike Ron, who climbed the hill, has big downhill putt towards the pin, just short of it. Good run, though. Yeah,
Chris is up now. Again, he's got that nose down just a little bit. A little bit of wind out there may be affecting him.
all those putts are straight on at it. Yeah, like you're saying, they're coming up just short, and Brian's got that dial.
With a really nice putt there for the birdie. It's a rare birdie on that hole.
You're saying rare birdie. Him and John Melms are the only 2 with the birdie on hole 8 for round 3. The hole played quarter stroke over par.
I just think the plastic is very premium.
I think it's the quality of plastic.
It's unlike any other plastic that you'll find in the industry.
It's something I can consistently trust.
You're gonna wanna put multiple discs in your bag.
You can only say so much where they have to eventually just try it themselves and see.
All right, well, we're 1 hole left here in the front 9 at Thorpe Park. This par 4, 369 feet, one of the shortest par 4s on the course, but with the uphill elevation and the tight tunnel shot, it can really make a player work for it, especially with the bad kick left or right. You want to stay close to center, because anything further out is just trouble.
Now, there is 2 routes on this where you can go to the right side of that main gap there and push it up there and play for that 3, and we're seeing a lot of players do that. Schwebby puts it right up through the middle. He wants to take another look at an eagle opportunity. I think he had an eagle opportunity on us the first round. We'll see what Ron does here too.
I feel like with the way the hole's shaped and the basket's just right there in front of you, you almost feel wrong not going for the eagle.
Right, but it is uphill. You're uphill 15, 18 feet in elevation.
Yeah, the camera is
so
showing the distance. Yeah. This is a good angle for it. How?
Yeah, it's a great angle, and you can see if you're on the right side there, you just have to navigate that bush. That's what Ron's going to have to deal with. He had a really nice shot going on that right side, that right lane. Chris is his drives are on. He's a little bit shaky on the putt, but I anticipate he'll clean that up here soon.
So you can barely see the flag there through the small trees, and Mike's just got to go up and over them.
He does that.
Perfect putting shot.
Yeah, it does. That's a pretty shot. He'll got a little tree to navigate, but he'll be fine. Ron puts a nice run on this. Just runs a little out of juice. So yeah, like I said, he took that right side and was able to actually see the target from there. See, Schwebby and Chris have about the same shot. Schwebby makes a nice run at it, but it's a safety run. So so he didn't go too far away. You can really attack these holes when you're going up the hill because you don't get too many rollaways. These rocks do catch a lot of the discs that start rolling, so people are really pretty aggressive on a lot of these.
Hole 9 played as the easiest hole for round 3 at half a stroke under par. And it's just about playing it clean and getting your upshots. I mean, if you not getting a 3 here, you're definitely for sure losing strokes on people. And I think it's really hard to, you'd really have to be out of position or just have to shank something on your second shot and not give yourself a look out.
You just got to focus and make sure you hit that first gap. And generally, you can get up and down pretty comfortably, but it's that first gap. It's the first throw that's really the key factor on this. These guys have all made those approach shots thousands of times in different courses, so that they understand what's going on there.
So for now, the top of the leaderboard does not have a Chris Smith on it. Brian has a 1-stroke lead on him through the front 9, over halfway through this tournament.
So yeah, Schwebby takes the lead on the event, 2.5 rounds into it. Followed by Chris is only one throw back. Convers is tied with him, and Mike Moser is now 12. So it's a tight gap, 14, 13, 13, and 12.
All right, so we got back 9 coverage of round 3 coming up. Click on over and see that, and we'll catch you all there.